Bonjour tout le monde. Hi everyone. It's me, Ali, your fancy friend in Montreal. And today we're doing a special video. We're talking about the best berry plum makeup products for fall. It's autumn. It's that autumnal season, and this sort of rich berry color is very apropos for the season. I did a video like this a couple months ago where I did the best of the best like favorites of old luxury versus new luxury. So we're going to do like a full face but split in half. Some products over here and different products over here. And in the comments, you get to vote down below. And on top of this, this is an extra special video because I have invited Charlotte Holdcroft to do the video with me. So a few months ago when I did the original video, like the best new versus old luxury beauty, it was a lot of fun. And it was really just a great reflection of what stood out to me, what was the best new and old. And it was fun to talk to you in the comments and to vote and it was just a lot of fun and really great. And I thought for the autumn season, it would just be such a great topic. And I'm certain that Charlotte has some great ideas. So I'm going to link her channel and her video down below. I'm sure you know Charlotte. So if you don't know who Charlotte is, she's a British luxury beauty YouTuber. She focuses a lot on luxury beauty, but she mentions more Tom Ford than I do, a little bit more Lisa Eldridge. She has a little bit faster access to that brand than I do. And we often talk about similar brands or similar-ish products, but our taste is different. So I think it's going to be a nice, refreshing collection of products. So yeah, one side of my face is going to be a certain berry plum products, and the other side are going to be different ones altogether. And hopefully it creates a cohesive look. But anyway, all that to say, that is today's video. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. So I think what I'll do is I'll create a halo look on each eye. And a halo look is darker color on the outside here, and then a lighter color here. And when I said like berry plum, at first Charlotte said, I don't know if I have that much. I was like, listen, it's kind of just like a concept. We can just sort of riff on it to, see what we can come up with. I don't have like a berry plum palette. Maybe I do, but I have a couple products here that popped into my head the second I thought of this concept. I love this Chantecaille luminescent eye shade in Crane. It's this smoky cranberry, the smoky burgundy. And I think that this encapsulates the color that I'm looking for. So I'm going to use this here. I'll give you a swatch in a moment. And I'm going to combine the Chantecaille luminescent eye shade in Pangolin. Now, if you've been a fan of my channel for years, there was a minute a few years ago where I was obsessed with this shade, and I'm going to give you a jump scare warning. This palette here, this single, looks magani. It looks used and abused because it is. I buy my products to enjoy them, and as you can see, I dig into this a lot. So I think both of these together will create a really nice halo eye, and I'm probably going to wet these. So Pangolin is a little bit more of a dusky lilac, but it's going to be tapped on top of the cranberry shade. I'm experimenting with straightening my hair at home a little bit more. Please leave in the comments what you think is the best dry shampoo to use, because I'm not really finding the best one at the moment. All of the makeup brushes that I'm using, they're listed in the description box in the affiliate link. So if you're curious what I'm using as I'm using it, just go check that out. I'm just spraying, I think I sprayed my counter more, but I'm spraying some setting spray. It's the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. And what I do is I wet my brush. It's actually quite wet here. And then I go into the luminescent eye shade, which explains why Pangolin looks the way it does. Just pick up a bunch here. This is a very small mirror, so I'm going to use something larger here. So you start off by placing the darker color on the periphery like this. And try your best not to go in the center as much as possible. And it will look crazy at first. Don't worry, it's part of the process. Then you use a little tapered blending brush and you start to softly blend out the color just like this. I'm also taking that same color and brush from before and just dragging some of the color on the bottom lashes. I'm not a huge fan of the current shape, but I'm going to fix it as I go. Now I'm going to dip into pangolin. I can't quite get over how bad this looks, this single. I mean, it just looks very well loved. Yeah, I dig into it. I may be hitting pan soon, so that's very, very satisfying. I'm just loading my finger up like this, and then I'm just going to tap it in the center here. And then I'll use a brush again, just to sort of blend these together. But you can sort of see this is the desired effect here, that halo of color. Eyeshadow looks, before they're actually complete, always look so insane. This looks like a little bit of nothing at the moment, but give it time. I'm just going to tap a little bit more. Okay. And I'm just going to use a little Q-tip here just to soften this. Now for the eyeliners, I have two options. I have from Chanel, I have the waterproof liner in number 36, Prune Intense, like an intense plum color. I have this one. Or I have the Victoria Beckham in Fig. I think I'm going to go with Victoria Beckham on this side here with Chantecaille. I think Fig is I mean, listen, I love the Victoria Beckham eyeliners, point blank period. I have multiple colors, and I think that this is a great color for the fall. What I like about them, they're so buttery. Look, I'm talking and it's just gliding. I like to smudge them as eyeshadow as well. They're great. Just going to do a thin line. Okay, so for the time being, this looks crazy, but we're going to move on to the next eye, and I'm just sort of going to try to match things up before I finish things off with mascara and all that jazz. So for the other eye, I'm going to go into Tom Ford Honeymoon. Listen, listen, listen. I know this may not look like a berry plum palette, but I think it does. So this palette is extremely versatile. Sometimes I use it for a gold JLo goddess type of look, but sometimes I go in for the more cranberry berry colors. I think this is a very versatile palette, and it's very popular for reasons. You know, Tom Ford eyeshadows are quite pricey, but I do think this one is worth it. So now we have Tom Ford down here, and we have it next to the eyeliners. So I guess I'll go in with Prune Intense for Tom Ford. I'm going to lean into more of these two because I want that, you know, smoky cranberry plum berry type of look here. I don't know about you, but I am so stuffed and I am dreaming of lunch. It was Canadian Thanksgiving yesterday. Here in Canada, we celebrate Thanksgiving in October, when it should be. Controversial opinion, but I can't believe my American neighbors celebrate Thanksgiving in November, in late November. No, October, okay. Apple picking, pumpkins, there's still leaves in the trees and on the ground. It's fall harvest time. There's still like the harvest fruit and veggies at the market. I'm just saying, October is where it's at. Cue my cancellation. I'm going to go into this berry color here. I think this may end up looking a little bit different. I'm just going to pack some here. Anyway, we host, well, we always host basically, and we had our friends' parents were visiting or still visiting from Oman, so we had them over. And it was great, lots of food, of course, and I'm just dreaming of my lunch. My lunch is going to be a bunch of leftovers. I have to say that in my opinion, I think that stuffing is the superior carb, especially when it comes to like a holiday meal. I think stuffing is where it's at. Do you call it stuffing or dressing? But you know what I mean, like stuffing or dressing are one and the same to me. It's basically just savory bread pudding. And I think I might make a big sandwich. Ooh, like a Ross Geller Thanksgiving sandwich, the one you had a mental breakdown over. I'll do that with gravy, cranberry. I didn't do turkey. I did 2 roast chickens. I made 2 roast chickens, stuffing. What else? Salad. I'm a fan of canned cranberry. Listen, I like nice things, duh. When it comes to cranberry sauce, I want the canned jelly. I don't want chunks of cranberry. I don't want a fresh cranberry jelly, cranberry sauce. No. I like that satisfying schlock sound when it hits the plate, and I want to cut where the ridges are. That's how you know it's good. Side note, this makeup brush here, this eyeshadow brush, is from MAC. I've owned it for a good 15 years, and it's still in pretty excellent condition. I wash it regularly, but it's still in really good condition. Just going to blend this out a little bit before I go into the other color. Sometimes when I do this type of halo eye, I really struggle in leaving the center part bare. And even if you don't, even if you go over a little bit, it'll be fine. Trust me, I've done it before. I'll probably do it again. Now let's go into this color here. And we're doing the same as before, where we're just sort of blending both of these colors together. There's a huge difference in my mind. I thought maybe these would look a little bit more the same, but honestly, this is fun to do these comparisons because, well, I mean, you get to see 2 looks. Because sometimes I have products that in my mind are very similar, like they're in the same family, but then once you actually wear them side by side, they look quite different. Now let's go into Prune Intense. I'm going to go in, I'm just going to do a thin line on top, and I'll go in the waterline as well. I'm just going to go ahead and throw on a black mascara. It's the YSL Lash Clash. Great mascara. I think if I had like a berry, because they make purple mascara, which would work, but I'm thinking more berry plum. I'm just going to use a black one, but I think a berry, they make berry mascaras. That could work too. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Wow, I did not realize how different these would be. I think that the Tom Ford side looks so much more smoky and like vampy. It has that dark, mysterious autumn vibe. And Chantecaille on this side here, it just looks so much brighter. I think it's the finish. The luminescent eye shades have a more metallic, shiny finish. And I think this one is way more obvious. I think I prefer the Tom Ford just for this like dark autumn type of vibe, but they're both very pretty. Maybe I'll add a little bit more of Crane, this darker cranberry color, just to sort of subdue it. Well, it's way too small. Just to sort of subdue it a little bit. But you know what I mean? Like you can just sort of see this like high shine a little bit, like way more. It's interesting. I mean, I still love Pangolin, but Pangolin is just, it's a very different vibe. It's like 2 very different looks here. So I have to say that there is fallout on both sides. There's way more fallout on the side with the Chantecaille, which makes sense because these eyeshadows are so much more volatile. So as always, I just take a little bit of eye cream, eye mask, eye serum, and then I roll a little Q-tip like this. And then I pick up the debris. The Tom Ford side has very little, a little bit, but when you think of it, your dark circles tend to be purple, blue, dark. So if you're going to be working with eyeshadows like this, I recommend just passing a quick little Q-tip like this, and you will be shocked at the color that you see on the Q-tip after. I have to say that the Chantecaille side has like almost like a glitter fallout. I'm just letting you know. I mean, I still love pangolin. I love the color, but I want to warn you, for those of you at home, especially if you're going to be shopping online, it's always good to know these things if you can't actually swatch them in person. Let's move on to foundation. I'm going to use the Prada foundation in the shade MN40. There's only one Prada foundation out on the market. I'm sure they have a face powder. I'm sure one day they'll come out with another finish. This one's more of like a soft velvet matte. I think my upstairs neighbor is vacuuming. That's condo living. I don't know if you can hear that, but I can hear it. I'm going to use my Sicily concealer. This is the shade 4. For the concealer, I'm just going to use the same one on each side. I don't have like a berry concealer to use anyway. This has such a nice cooling applicator. The metal bit here stays cold, so it just feels really lovely when you apply it, and the concealer itself is fantastic. When I reviewed it, I compared it to the Chanel Sublimage, and I think it's better. I think it's better because, okay, so if you like one, you would like the other. They're both skincare infused makeup. They both blend like a dream, and they both stay in place and don't crease. However, this is so much more portable. It's plastic, it's lightweight. If you travel, it's not as hefty. However, if you like that luxury feel of a product, this might be more for you. But then if you drop this on like tile, it's glass. It breaks, it shatters. Also, you have to like scoop out product to get it. So I don't know. If you like one, you'll like the other, but I think the Sicily one is a little bit better. I'm just going to blend this out now. I'm going to use the Chanel Universal Loose Powder. I am in the shade 30. I'm just going to tap on a little bit, mostly in the center of the face. Now, for the blush, I want something that's like a muted mauve, a little bit of a berry. I have this color from Lisuatier. It's called Mocha. On me, I find that it does hit that sort of color sphere that I was mentioning. So we're going to go ahead and use that. Their blushes pick up a lot of product on the brush. You can see it right here. Just be careful. I'm tapping off excess blush on my tissue here because it's much easier to add blush than it is to remove with makeup in general. But I find with blush especially, I definitely experience blush blindness, they like to call it now. And it's just so much easier to go in lightly. Just going to shake, shake, shake. See, it's called Mocha, but I think it goes really well with these types of colors here. And then on this side here with Tom Ford, I dug up my old Chanel Douceur d'Equinoxe. Remember this came out a couple of years ago? I don't know if this was fall or holiday, but it was this one here. It's called Beige, like Beige Rose Mauve, like a rosy mauve. Perfect. And when you swirl these together, it looks very similar to this side here. So I'm just going to pick up some color like this, knock off a little bit, because I do find this one here, I think it's a little bit more berry, a little bit deeper. I think this one is slightly more obvious as a blush. Just tapping on a little bit more on this side here. I think the blushes look similar. I think the eyeshadows look, they've got nothing to do with each other, if I'm being perfectly honest. Oh well. But I think these blushes look similar enough. On the cheeks, do you think that these are dupes for each other? Let me know. Let me know how this looks on camera. Like, I don't think they're perfect dupes. I think This one is a little bit more beige, and this one is a little bit brighter purple. I'm going to add a touch of highlighter. I don't have like a berry plum highlighter. That doesn't really go with my complexion, I don't think. But I have a nice one from Tom Ford. It's the Soleil Neige. It came out a couple of years ago. It has like a lovely pink undertone, and I think it's going to look so nice with this. And to go with the highlighter, I'm going to use the new re-release of the Refer AA01, the Alexandra Anelli brush collaboration. Good for her. So I'm just going to take this. And yeah, I think this pink, slight pink undertone just goes so nicely with this color palette here. Okay, so for the lips, I have like 4 products that I could use. Let me walk you through. Okay, so the Benetint, the Benefit Benetint in Raspberry. It's the liquid tint. Raspberry is where it's at. I like this better than the original color. If you want a lip stain that stains in the color family we're talking about today, oh, this looks like blood. Very topical for the season, spooky. But this stains like a nice raspberry, but more berry color, so that could work. I have 2 lip liners that I really like for this time of year. I have the Tom Ford lip liner. Did I say lip liner or eyeliner? You know what I mean, lips here. Moving on to lips. This is Tom Ford in A-lister. It's a little bit more brown, but we could sort of mix the brown with berry together. I also really love the Lise Wattier in Porto. It's a little bit more red, but it is in that family, and I often mix these two together. They make just like a really lovely concoction, these two. They kind of match my nail polish. And then on top of that, I love the Victoria Beckham lip gloss in Fizz, which kind of has a little bit of that berry. It's a bit more sheared out, but okay, I think I'm just gonna mix all of them. You know what? I think I might just make a whole concoction because I can. It's my channel. I can do that. I'm going to start with the Tom Ford A-lister on the periphery here. And then almost over top of Tom Ford, I'm using the Lise Wattier in Porto just to sort of do like a very slow gradient. This is what the Benetint in Raspberry looks like once it's dried down. So if you could imagine that on the lips. On the cheeks, I don't love it on the cheeks. I find it's hard to blend. It's so watery, but I love this for a lip stain. So I'm going to put a little bit. And then on top, we're going into Fizz. This lip combination, killer. I think that the raspberry color adds some redness. I think if you wanted to go with both of the lip liners, that's really nice as well with the lip gloss, but oof, it's so 90s, it's so fall. Ooh, I love it. I need to go into a fragrance, and then we'll do a side-by-side comparison, a judgment, a voting in the comment section. For the fragrance, I'm going into the Tom Ford Lost Cherry. This smells so good. I don't really have like a berry fragrance, but something about this smells like fall. I mean, it's Tom Ford, so it's pretty intense. And Lost Cherry is sweet, but it's a little bit gourmand, and I just think I don't know, I think it goes with this. It's a bit, the packaging itself is a bit more red than like a burgundy, but I think of this as a fall, autumn scent. I'm picturing leather boots, a cute blazer, that sort of thing. So that's the look. Okay, time for your judgment call, for your voting in the comments down below. I think I prefer the eye look. I prefer the eyeshadow Honeymoon. I'm really surprised. I thought I would, I mean, I like both for different reasons. Like this is a bit too bright for me for today. I was thinking something more moody, more vampy. So I think Honeymoon hits that more. Yeah. As far as the eyeliners go, I really find it hard to pass up Victoria Beckham. I just think they're great. But I think Prenatence works really nicely here. I think both eyeliners are great. I think Honeymoon is the standout for me. I think the blushes, I think they're both great. I think the one from Chanel is maybe a little bit more berry, a little bit heavier. And the lips, well, I just mix them all together. I think they're great like that. I love layering lip liners like this because it just creates your own like bespoke lip color. Please let me know what you think down in the comments below, and make sure to go watch Charlotte's video. I'm really curious what she might have picked out. I'm pretty sure she has Honeymoon. She loves Tom Ford. I hope we didn't pick the exact same ones, but maybe we will. It's always interesting to see how people interpret the same products as well. Make sure to go give her a like. Make sure you know that I sent you. Maybe we could leave a little emoji. I don't know, like I talked about Thanksgiving. I talked about pumpkins and fall. I guess we could leave like a little purple heart emoji for like the berry plum makeup look. So leave a little purple heart emoji, but any emoji that calls to you, leave one in the comments here and over on Charlotte's channel. I think that's it for today, but if you're new here from Charlotte's channel, hi, I'm Ali. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I talk a lot about luxury beauty. I don't always talk about the newest products. I do review a lot of makeup, but my channel is very relaxed. We're at a very leisurely pace here. I mix new and old a lot in my makeup tutorials and my reviews as well, so you won't feel that rush to go out and buy everything new. It's very, very zen here, very relaxed. So if you're not subscribed, you're missing out. Anyway, I think that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.